Well, Happy New Year to you. I was going to do one video and ended up doing a different one. Yesterday I got all the tools and things to make my own painting boxes. I was watching Left Brain Artist and he had such good instructions that I thought, well, I can do that. So I did everything and found out my cordless battery was not charged. So I had to wait until today. And so Happy New Year. I've completed my first box. And what these boxes are, and these will be for smaller paintings. They won't be for the large ones. I'm going to do the large ones. But these are containers that I got from Walmart. They're Sterilite and they're 10 gallons. They're 25 and a fourth by 18 inches long. You can see that I did 2 metal rods, and I'll have some instructions of how to do that. I measured on the outside, then I made sure that I tried to measure, and I only put 2 on there because this is a 10 by 10 canvas, and you can see it fits just real well. And also you can even do, if you wanted to do several little ones, here's a 8 by 10 and you could put 2 8 by 10s. I checked my level both ways, making sure that they're level and in the inside. If they're not, I might have to, they are, but if I put the box in a different place, I might have to check my level again. So always keep a level so that you can check your level. I'm going to go ahead and mark my second box to do, and then as I'm finishing it, I will turn back on the video and I will show you how I finished it. So on this second box, what I'm doing is I'm taking the side where I feel like I want to measure, and I'm taking my tape and I have picked a spot to make the hole. So I'm making some marks just so that I know exactly on each side where it's going. So on this one, I go down, I take my tape and I go down 2 inches and I mark it here. And then I come from this spot right here and I mark it 3/4. So I come down to my line that I've marked and I'm taking, and from this line right here, I'm actually taking 3/4 and I'm marking it. But I'm not going to do that in the camera because I can't hold it and do it. So I'm going to come down here and do it, and I'm going to mark all 4 places, and then I'll get the drill and I'll show you how that we're going to drill these holes. We have to do pilot holes first, and because the large drill will just take and go wobbly. So I have made my marks on my bucket, and now what I'm going to do is what they call a pilot hole, and drill a small hole. And this was a real challenge for me because I've never used a cordless drill before. I've used always in the past and it's been a long time since I've ever drilled a hole. I had to learn how to use a cordless drill, how to open it up and everything else, and then of course I told you the battery died. So the reason you drill a pilot hole is that if you tried to start with this big, this is a 3/8, if you had to start with that, then your hole would go like this. But if you start with a pilot hole, and you just go in. Whoop, I don't have it in the right place. See, I told you I'm still learning. I don't have the bit in the right place. Gotta make sure you have the bit in the right place where it's holding it. I did not put it in the right place. There we go. So you learn all kinds of stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to go where I marked that red. And I'm going to just drill a, help if you have it on the right direction. Had it on the reverse. Okay. And I just reverse it to come back out. So I'm going to make all 4 of my pilot holes. You can see my pilot hole. And then I'll turn the GoPro back on to show you how I can do the big holes. So I have my pilot holes. If you can see them, there's 2 little pilot holes on each side. Now I'm going to use my big 3/8 bit to make those holes bigger by putting the tip into the pilot hole. It's really easy to do. And you can see that I have a big hole. I have kind of some stuff around the plastic, but it comes off with when I put my nut on. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 4 of those, and then we'll put the long threaded rods in. So I have my 3/8 rods. I've drilled all 4 holes. I'm taking off the tape. And the next thing that I'm going to do is check to see, before I do any of the bolts and the washers, I'm going to check to see if I drilled the holes level, because at this point in time I can actually change and drill the hole a little bit bigger. So I put my rods through to check. So what we need to do on each one of these is we have to have on the inside, we have a washer. This is what the left brain guy did, and I think that it so far, because I did that first one, it worked out real well. And you put your washer on the inside, and then you run your nut. Should have started this one on the other side, but it's okay. Usually it's easy to do. So you put a washer and a nut there. You put a washer on and a nut on the inside of here. So I'll come in with another nut, back-to-back nuts on the inside. One will go here and one will go over there. And then I will come back and show you how to finish it. Well, I've made my second box, and I want to thank Left Brain Artist, because he really gave me the idea. And I had bought the boxes to try to make my own, and didn't really know how I was going to mark the holes and things. I'm going to use his idea next, and that is the wrapping paper box. And I'm going to put 4 or 5 poles across and take the wheels off, snap the wheels off. So that'll be my next project, and I'll show you the results when I'm done. Well, this has just been a big challenge. These are not as easy to do as the black ones. They're thinner, and they have they're harder. So I would say tape them mark it, tape it, and then I put too big a hole in this one. I broke it, and you have to go slow. Start with a very small bit, pilot bit. We actually started with one smaller than this to do the pilot hole, and then I went to this bit, then I went to this bit, and then I went to this bit. So this is not an easy way to make a pouring table, but it does work. And because I already created the black boxes for the smaller prints pieces, I'm not going to do that. I worry about putting 5. I was going to put 4 or 5 in each one. I think I'm only going to put 3, because when you look at the size of the canvas, this is a 16 by 20, and that's probably the biggest size I'll be doing in here. You can see it fits real well, and I think that it'll be really nice. Now this canvas is not a level canvas to begin with, so, but I did check my canvas to make sure it was level, so that I know that these are all level. I had to drill out the holes. I had to drill the holes out a little bit. So to finish this, now, what we're going to do on the inside of this is we're going to put a washer. These are 1/2-inch holes, so they're pretty heavy. These are 1/2-inch, and so I'm going to do the washer, a nut on each side of this, and so there's every one of these will have 4 on the inside, and so you'll have 4 per pole. You'll have the washer, the nut, then I'll be pulling it back down here, and it'll be a washer and a nut. So I'll turn it off and come back to you when I get it almost finished. Well, as you can see, it's been a real challenge. I have everything done except my bolts and my washers on this side. And the reason I haven't put them on this side yet is I want to check the distance so that I'm not pulling this away. So I'm going to measure the distance here, and that's 19. This one is just a little bit over 19, and this one is at 19. So I'm gonna pull the middle one in to be 19. So what I will be doing now is putting the 3 washers and the nuts on that side, and then I will pull in the all of the sides to be 19, and that way we will have no problem at all. So I'm going to tip this up. I've got the nuts in it, so I'm going to tip this up. And I'm going to try to turn it around so you can see what I've done. I'm going to have to clean it anyway. And so I don't know if it's already out of the frame, but I'm going to put the 3 washers on. And then I'm going to put my bolts on. And it'll take me a little bit to screw them on. And I'll probably cut off these rods with a hacksaw. Okay, well, I've got all my nuts and bolts and washers on, and I've got 19 there, I've got 19 there, and I've got 19 here. So I have a pouring box made, And the only thing that I need to do now is actually cut off these long rods. Now on the plastic boxes, these, I don't think I'm going to cut off the rods on these because I'm going to be mostly pouring this way. And I might set a tray right here with my paints on it. And if I could find some grips to glue on the bottom of that tray, that would be kind of handy. So I'm going to use that tonight and see how it is. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to take this one outside and cut the rods off, and I'm going to save the rods because who knows, I might make some small boxes with these rods. But I'll show you how I started and the materials. Started with these. This one, tore off the wheels, drilled the holes, and drilling holes, I would say use tape, put it on the inside and the outside to drill through here, and then mark it. And when I was marking, I took my level and I just came down here and put a line under that level, and that was my mark for here. And I just came and did it all the way. And you can choose how many rods you want in there, because if you want to make small canvases and you only want to do one pouring box, then you might want to take and put more rods in here. Because I did the smaller ones that will hold my smaller canvases, I've decided that I think that this one is just fine for me. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Left Brain Artist was the one that showed me. I was watching his video, and I do thank him. And I just thought the people that I was looking and I was watching the videos of the people pouring and said, well, where did they get that box? So decided to start looking myself. So I'm just passing this on to some of my friends that are just starting to acrylic pour. And I hope that you enjoyed this. And please, if you did enjoy it, please mark the like and subscribe. Costs you nothing to subscribe. When you're a new person, you need 100 subscribers to get in the algorithm of the YouTube. So please take and like and subscribe. And if you click the bell, you'll be notified every time I put on a new video. Have a happy new year.